guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Little Statements Monday here. I'm going to weave some breaking news into my first statement for you guys, okay?
This is the first. This has not happened before.
No. It probably has.
It has.
At some point.
Breaking news on a statement Monday to start with? I don't remember. Don't recall.
Yeah, but you don't remember
anything.
Anyone's name in the hallway. Like, you know.
You know what's funny? As I do remember certain things. Names I do not remember. I apologize. I apologize. If I meet you at Padres during our event on Tuesday, odds are I will not recall your name past the point where it goes through your lips to tell me, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's great, and then I won't remember. And I apologize for that. It's not my fault. It's my brain. We
should shout that out, by the way. If you want to introduce yourself to the sports dad and then have him forget your name immediately, you can do that tomorrow night, Tuesday, January 7th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Padres in Minneapolis. It's free to get in. We do ask that everyone has a ticket just so we can have a head count. But scorenorth.com/unplugged if you want your free ticket. Scorenorth.com/unplugged. All attendees get a free pint glass and a free Padres beer and a free dismissal of your name from.
It's not a dismissal. It's not a dismissal. I want to remember it. I just can't, and I don't know why. Look, I'm convinced in life there are certain things that that certain brains don't do well. For me, that's names, math, and I can't read a map. Dawn gets so frustrated. I can't read a map. I can't read a map to save my life. I can't. I mean, GPS is the greatest invention for me of all time.
But like when you say you can't read a map, like what do you?
Like if you give me a map and say,
hey, can you find 394 on this map?
Oh, I can find it, but I'm saying that if you take me to a city, let's just say St. Louis, okay, and you drop me off with no phone, no GPS, just a car and a map, and tell me to get to a place off that map, impossibility for me, and it's not my fault. Impossibility.
Like an old map quest where you print it out and...
Well, no, I'm saying an old school map. Like if you just hand me a fold-out map, right?
Thank God no one has to use those or do math anymore.
Dude, a lot of my life was spent. And Dawn can tell, she can read a map perfect. She could tell north, south, east, and west. I've said this before. I can't tell you which way is which. Right now, I have no idea.
My lovely wife, spatial directions and just directions is horrendous.
Not her fault.
I'm actually pretty
Bad
good.
Brain.
If you put me in a foreign place, in a place where I'm not familiar with, I'm pretty good at figuring out where to go. And she even's like, how are you good at this? And I don't know. I know. I think it's just a sense, but...
It's a skill that your brain has that mine lacks, and so does hers, and it's not her fault. I get blamed for it. It's like I don't want to know. I want to know. It's just not my fault.
So, breaking news wrapped into
that's right. Sorry.
A statement here. My statement is, don't do it, Brian Flores. Stay away. Stay far, far away. Run. Run for your life, Brian Flores.
Oh, yeah.
Ian Rappaport from NFL Network reports that the New York Jets have requested a head coaching interview with Brian Flores. This would be career suicide for him because you don't get a third chance. If you fail twice as a head coach, or fail in air quotes, I don't think he failed in Miami. I think he was set up to fail and sort of succeeded beyond and then had some clashes with people.
Yeah.
But it's perceived as a failure. If he goes to New York, he's going to get fired within a couple of years because Woody Johnson's a moron. That franchise is toxic. It's going to take a real special set of circumstances to turn that franchise around. There's no quarterback of the future. Aaron Rodgers may or may not be there. It's a disaster. But politely, don't burn a bridge, but politely decline that interview request and wait for a better opportunity. And maybe stay with the Vikings for a couple more years as a highly paid defensive coordinator. You're awesome at that.
Or, you know what? Take it, go through the process, come back and tell O'Connell, God, they are a bigger mess than I thought. Because the one good thing if you're a Vikings fan is this. So I believe that there are new rules on the interview process of active coordinators and assistants. And because the Lions won and get a bye, I think Ben Johnson, for instance, can spend this week, there's a certain time that he can do Zooms with teams. Flores, my understanding now, is he can't talk to teams until the Vikings are done and or like around January 21st if they win games.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more roadblocked for Flores in this case, but I'm with you. I mean, there is no way on God's green earth I'm taking that job, man. That job is death.
I guess the good news is the Jets have put in 11 or 12 requests. They've done 2 interviews so far for head coach, Mike Vrabel and Ron Rivera.
Rex Ryan's coming in.
Yeah, so Rex Ryan is coming in for an interview. Joe Brady, Vance Joseph, Matt Nagy, Arthur Smith, Brian Griese, who is the 49ers quarterbacks coach.
Yeah.
Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, who put on such a clinic last night defensively with a bunch of backups. The camera caught him, the Lions defensive coordinator, lounging on the bench at one point, like halfway through the fourth quarter, just admiring his work.
It was a great. Hey, kudos to him.
Yeah, he was cooking.
And then Bobby Slowick, who's the Texans offensive coordinator. So, yeah, be flow. Get out. Stay away.
Do we think
Run.
the Jets go defense, though? I think at the end of the day, they probably go the offensive side of the ball for their next head coach.
Interesting, they have not put a request in for Ben Johnson because I think they know that dude ain't taking your.
I think he's told him probably don't.
Don't even call me. Don't text me. Lose this number.
Oh, it's the Jets decline.
Yeah.
Hi, you've reached Ben Johnson.
All right, I'll go next here because I almost used this as the hottest take on Purple Daily, and we broached it a little bit before it was my turn. But Sam Darnold's performance might be the worst Vikings QB performance I've seen since Josh Freeman. So I was looking at this, and we saw some of the stats. So Sam Darnold yesterday was 18 of 41 for $166. Josh Freeman in the infamous game in New York was 20 of 53 for $190. Some other quarterback starts that stand out to me that maybe fit in this realm of horrible, awful appearances. Kirk's first start against the Green Bay Packers, second start, 2019 in Green Bay week 2. Threw like 4 picks, was atrocious in that game, was not good at all. Another one, and I kind of feel bad for him because he was just set up for failure, was the Sean Mannion start because of COVID at the end of 2020 when Kirk got COVID. I mean, he was set up for disaster, but also
we
had
a
to
backup
watch.
coming in almost shouldn't count. You know,
Yeah,
it should be
I
like
don't fault. Yeah.
Probably
Spurgeon
safe to say there.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Poor kid should have been playing.
God bless Todd Bauman, St. Cloud State Go Huskies, but him throwing
go Bison, let's go.
Go Bison too. Throwing like beyond the line of scrimmage, I remember that one. But I think that performance, missing so many opportunities, being in the red zone all the time, missing high, just he didn't have it. It was reminiscent. It was reminiscent. I don't know if it's in the exact same category as the Freeman game because that was infamous. But man, that was as bad as it gets.
Off the top of my head, one that comes to mind, and it was his first career start, but Tavares Jackson in Green Bay Thursday night, 2006, which I believe Royce, in a column from that game, declared that at the time to be the worst starting quarterback performance that he had seen from a Viking. That was an atrocious game. I mean, that game was terrible, and poor T-Jack was awful. Yeah. But when a guy is sailing the football, like it literally is, it would take like Gobert to catch them. Then I think you do have a problem.
With those hands?
Okay, good point. Sorry. It takes a man of Rudy Gobert's size with Justin Jefferson's hands. How about that? That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, there's now a bunch of, because the All-22 film always comes out and people start jumping on it. And Dan Orlovsky put out a couple different clips. He thinks Sam Darnold missed 5 touchdown passes last night. Now, I haven't seen, maybe a couple of them came on the same drive.
I was going to say, yeah, if they came on the same drive, he's right.
But
yes.
At least 5 touchdown passes
yes.
on the board that he sailed or missed with inaccuracy.
The one where they schemed Jefferson wide open, he's wide open. And the pass is so poorly thrown that Justin couldn't catch it. Not the one in the back of the end zone that Jefferson's sort of botched himself, but there was one where O'Connell schemed him wide freaking open.
Wide ass open.
Yes.
Is what they say.
But it's like, how does an NFL quarterback miss that?
Yeah, it's bad. All right, Judd.
Okay, I'm going to give you a National Football League statement from a weekend that was just crazy. Now, this is their team's fault because they mangled the beginning of the season. But the statement is this: Joe Burrow being out of the playoffs is a major loss for football fans.
Yeah.
It is a major loss. And now Cincinnati got off to a 4-8 start, won 5 consecutive games. So this is a Bengals fault. This is their problem. But nonetheless, I love watching this guy. Mm-hmm. He is such a competitor. He's so damn good. He wills his team to wins. Unfortunately, couldn't do enough to get them to the playoffs. But in my opinion, we the fans suffer because there are a few AFC teams that I would gladly throw overboard to get Joe Burrow in the playoffs next week.
The Steelers, man, like
the
Steelers clinched a playoff spot a month and change ago. You're like, can we take the Steelers back and get a refund? Like, oh, sorry, the 30-day window expired.
Can we
for
flip
you
them
to,
with the Bengals? I mean, can you imagine? And look, the Bengals might lose first round, no idea. But Russell Wilson and that Steelers group, or Joe Burrow and the Bengals,
yeah,
that's not close as far as my television viewing preferences.
But I will say we are headed for potentially a division round slate of AFC games that could be epic even without Joe Burrow. So wild card, you got the AFC games on wild card weekend. There's some intrigue, but it's Chargers at Texans. Chargers favored in that game. Broncos at Bills, and then Steelers at Ravens. If the favorites hold, so if the Ravens and the Bills win at home, and if the Chargers go beat a Texans team that they are favored to beat and better than, I mean, Chargers have the better coach, the better quarterback, the better defense. They just don't have the home field advantage. Mm-hmm. That would set up a division round weekend where I believe it would be Chargers playing at Kansas City and then Ravens playing at Buffalo. So Herbert versus Mahomes, Harbaugh versus Reed.
Yeah.
And then you would have Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, probably the two of the 3 finalists for NFL MVP. So, but yeah, like throwing Joe Burrow into that in wild card weekend would have been, and he'll get back. But dude, he sent shots across the bow at the organization. It's a terribly run organization. They're frugal, bad facilities.
Yep.
And he basically said, we got to stop letting good players walk out the door. T. Higgins should not be walking out that door.
Right.
But
he also
probably going to get traded. So.
But the salary cap also, like their defense was not pathetic because they tried to make it pathetic. It was pathetic because they're paying guys. Like there's a conversation probably to be had with Joe about dispersal for positions when it comes to the cap. But that guy is just, that guy's the definition of a quarterback, how I want my quarterback wired.
Yeah. I'll give you another NFL one. Gerard Mayo got Mike Tyson on Sunday. So the Patriots didn't even wait until Black Monday. They didn't even let Gerard Mayo get a good night's rest and maybe wake up in the morning.
Fire him Monday. It's way more fun on Monday.
Yeah, they were like, we got. I don't know. Maybe they felt like they had to get out in front of the Mike Vrabel interview wave, and other teams are going to be kicking around there. But you weren't you? I was down there as like an intern for KFXN Radio the day that you were covering the Vikings when Mike Tyson got fired, right? Wasn't that your first year on the Vikings beat?
Yeah.
And they were like passing out press releases, and dude, Nate Tice, his son, got one.
I talked to him about it. I saw Nate at training camp. And I said, the last time I saw you were being handed the news of your father's dismissal on like a plain white sheet of paper. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I think he was a ball boy that day.
And in both cases, the Patriots and the Vikings, I think, didn't the Vikings win their Week 17 game?
Yeah, the Bears had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in both cases, you win the game, and then you're in the locker room. All right, we ended the season on a high note. And the Patriots could have had the number 1 overall pick if they lose.
Terrible win.
But you think, you know what, though? We're trying to build a winning culture, right? So maybe we can maybe ending the season on a high note is better than getting the number 1 pick. But then you fire the coach, so it doesn't even matter. You're starting over culture-wise anyways. Just terrible for the Patriots.
Week 18 is great now, too, because you get your certain teams, and the Patriots were a prime example of players that decide, all right, the season's done, and for the last 3 or 4 weeks, we have not cared, if not more, but we can screw the franchise now. We're going to get a win. I'm sure Mayo had a pretty good idea. I think he had a pretty good idea that he was out. So it's let's go win one more, because none of us are going to benefit from this draft pick. There were a couple of games like that yesterday where I sensed teams were actually trying hard just out of spite, including the
Bears. The Bears won.
Yep.
Wasn't that their first noon Sunday road win in 30 tries or something?
I mean, they've lost, 9 consecutive games?
Yeah.
Something like that. But the Jets, too. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is having a huge day. What a great send-off. It's that's just a bleep you day.
500 touchdowns. All right. I think we're back to Dex here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a lifestyle weekend statement. This happened on Saturday, and actually it might dovetail for Mackey's statement, because I was following along on your cooking journey yesterday, which was an epic little situation there.
Don saw that, yeah.
But my statement is, this is what true love is. So Saturday afternoon, here in the burbs, my wife wanted crisp and green. I love a salad, but personally, not really the thing I was going for that day. So I said, we can get crisp and green as long as I can stop at Taco Bell on the way. And that's what true love is. Me devouring 2 cheesy Gordita Crunch tacos in the crisp and green parking lot while my lovely wife goes and gets the salad of her choosing.
So you went to Taco Bell first?
First, because it was on the way. It was that was an easier stop to do first. So Taco Bell first, then crisp and green, and then we ran an errand. We went to her brother's hockey game. But that's what true love is. All right, you abide to both. I didn't want a salad. She certainly didn't want Taco Bell. This is the compromise. This is what marriage and this is what a good relationship looks like.
Wow, just dueling. Fast food and fast casual blend there, right?
Yes.
Crisp and Green's kind of a fast casual.
Yeah.
And Taco Bell is just straight fast food.
Oh, I love Taco Bell.
Let's look at that. Year 1 of marriage, and you guys are already compromising.
Yep.
Which places?
And in 3 years, it'll bug her, and you'll get in a fight.
She'll resent the fact
3
that
years,
you didn't go to Taco Bell on the way back instead.
Yeah.
You had to make her
or why can't you ever eat what I eat? Why do you always have to go to Taco Bell? You just wait. See, the resentment builds. That's the key. Find out what happens once the resentment is built. Once the fact that you left too much toothpaste on the counter or something.
We should do a ranking of top 5 things that Judd thinks his wife resents him for.
Talking incessantly is one for sure.
One.
Being gone, missing all those family gatherings because of his writing jobs for all those years.
Yeah. That's a good one. Thank you, Phil. That's a good one. Oh, yeah.
She's not told me that directly. I just
but I mean, you deducted that, and I think you're 100% right. Yeah, but you just wait, Dex. In 5 years, it'll be like, you never want to go to the same restaurant I do. Why don't you want to go to the same restaurant I do? You've been going to Taco Bell since the day we met. I thought it would pass after a year. I mean, that's just what I'm telling you is going to happen.
You just wait. Oh, we have more breaking Vikings news
let's
here.
Let's talk about this.
So, wrapped up in a statement. I'll give you a statement. Josh McCown, run. Stay away. Say no.
This actually makes sense.
The Jets have apparently requested a Josh McCown head coaching interview to former Jets quarterback, Josh McCown.
Yes.
How did you make it work with that bust of a Sam Darnold? Man, that guy sucked
Woody Johnson
when we were all
here.
Right?
Hey, what's going on? Josh, good to see you again. Woody Johnson.
My son says his Madden rating's pretty low. How did you make him so good?
I think there's Guys, I'm telling you, I think that there is a decent chance that this guy gets a head coaching job. That Josh McCown gets a head coaching job. I really do.
He's impressive in the room.
He's impressive in the room, and I have never seen a quarterback coach work the sideline like that guy did. Like a quarterback coach ordinarily sort of stands back, right? Waits to talk.
We have another.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
The Jets have also requested to speak to Viking Senior VP of Player Personnel, Ryan Grigson. So the Jets.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Run. Stay away.
No, take it, Ryan. Bye,
Judd
Ryan.
hates Ryan Grigson.
Bye, Ryan. See ya. Thanks for all the help. Nice job with Andrew Luck.
Grigson and Rex Ryan. Let's make it happen. Save the New York Jets.
I am rooting for Rex.
I think it's the right hire.
As a fan, I'm rooting for Rex.
You need a certain type of personality. He actually did a good job when he was there. He was like competitive, went to
His
2
defense
AFC
at the time was like he had all of those blitz packages. He was a pain to play against defensively.
Yeah. Underdog makes football more fun this time of year. It's actually a great time to be adding things like Underdog to your repertoire decks.
Yeah, that's right. There's promo tokens that can come through. There's no sweat token, so you don't have to worry about even losing. If you lose it, you get it back. There's plenty of great options. There's easy pick'ems that will come through randomly too. And on Super Wild Card Weekend, I would bet your friends at Underdog are going to be helping you out a little bit. So if you're a new user and you'd like to join, you can still do so when you use promo code SCORE. New users get that 50% deposit match. So if you'd like to do so, SCORE for a 50% deposit match. And the current users, turn on those notifications, even for like breaking news. Breaking news comes through the Underdog app. That's how I get some of that as well. So go download the Underdog app, use promo code SCORE for a 50% deposit match.
Also, Judd, let's shut out MSP Plumbing and Heating here before we make our final statements round.
Absolutely. And look, the one thing, as you look at the truck pulling up right there, commitment is one of the most important words at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And there's nothing worse this time of year when your furnace, for instance, goes on the fritz. It's cold outside. You want your home to be safe and warm and toasty, and the commitment that MSP shows has you covered on that. A company that for a century now, families have relied upon for plumbing, drains, heating, and cooling needs. Right now, get $50 off any HVAC or plumbing repair. For any type of repair, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air wants to keep your home safe and running smoothly. Give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check them out their website, callmsp.com. That's callmsp.com.
Okay. All right, one more round. Let's go. Let's each do at least one more here. Judd, jump in here.
Okay, I will be happy if I never again see an announcer on air spit up a dilly bar that's covered in mayonnaise. Matt Berry, I understand, okay? The Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's fun, and you're dousing PJ Fleck post game. Congratulations, the Gophers won. Yes, exactly right. The Gophers won, so congratulations there. But this whole thing of making people on air try to consume products that have been doused in mayonnaise and not knowing exactly what the outcome is going to be is more than my stomach can handle. So you know what? I just don't need to see it. If you're going to do anything creative and fun, the Pop-Tart Bowl is perfect. The Pop-Tart, right? The Pop-Tart at the end of the game is sacrificed in the huge toaster. It's sort of a fun thing, but I am out on the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the consumption of the mayo.
I love the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I love this. I love the self-deprecation of it. I love that we're not some of these bowl games, the Pop-Tart Bowl, great example. There's like a Snoop Dogg Bowl now, the Barstool thing that they did for a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Okay, these are kind of jokes. There's 15 people in the crowd. These games, especially with a college football playoff now, these games are just less relevant than ever. But let's make them fun. They're TV shows. And I did think it was a little weird, though, to side with you slightly here. You are featuring your product, right?
Yes.
This is a celebration of mayonnaise and Duke's Mayo. How do we highlight that product? Let's dip food items into it that would otherwise be nowhere near mayonnaise and watch the play-by-play guy and the color commentator gag on live TV.
Right. Yeah.
It was it's like, is Duke's Mayo getting positive benefit from that? I don't know. But they definitely got positive benefit from the clip going viral of PJ Fleck getting absolutely doused with a mayo bath. A top 5 moment in the 143-year history of Gopher football, mind you. Let's go.
I remember the days when Murray Warmath would sit there as a huge jug of mayo was poured on good old Murray's head. The Pop-Tart Bowl. The Pop-Tart Bowl is perfect because I do agree. I like that was repulsive. That guy spit it. He took the garbage can, almost threw up.
And he didn't mute his microphone. You could just hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I do not consider myself a prude. That really grossed me out.
It was crazy. But you know what? And you kind of dovetailed into, I'll give you my Gopher statement. I know he's quirky and he drives you nuts sometimes with just all of it. I love PJ Fleck, man. He's the best coach since Murray Warmath. 60 plus years. All due respect to Glenn Mason. He's undefeated in these bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
He's competitive year in and year out. He beats Wisconsin on a regular basis. Let's beat Iowa a little bit more often. And he's holding his own in this NIL world too. Like to get a good quarterback in here, Max Brosmer. There's a running back or two here every single year. He's pumping out NFL players. So
yep.
This is never going to be Ohio State, at least in the short term. It's never going to be what Alabama's been, but it's the most competitive version of Gopher football we've seen over like an extended 8-year stretch in decades. And he's kind of a cornball and he's taking a mayonnaise bath, whatever, but let's appreciate PJ Fleck. He's doing a good job with this program.
You are not going to improve on him. You're not.
It'd be real tough. I'd need to see a list of names, man.
And you'd have to break, but I mean, because my understanding is like when it comes to the ability to raise funds to pay the players and stuff, like he does a ton of work there. Like he's doing a ton of work. So I don't think you're going to find a coach who would take this job who would be better and also would agree to the terms unless the school did a lot more, which I don't think that they're going to do, unfortunately. And you know what? If they pop up every once in a while and make a run at what eventually is going to be a 16-team playoff, this might sound lame, but I think you got to be happy. I really do.
And when you're playing like a 13-game schedule, including a bowl game, this is like an 8 or a 9 win program. That once in a while, if the stars align, maybe you pop up to
2019.
In 2019, they would have been in the college football playoff.
Yep.
With 12 teams.
Yep.
Because they were weren't they ranked like 9th or something?
I think they ended the season ranked 10th after they drubbed Auburn in the Outback Bowl at the time, I think it was.
So they would have been right there on that line. So I think you go win 8 or 9 games, one of them against Iowa and or Wisconsin, maybe beat another ranked team, win your bowl game, and then once every 5 or 6 years, maybe you flirt with double digits or something. I'm good with it. Take a mayonnaise bath.
How gross do you think that experience is? If you're Fleck.
I don't mind mayonnaise, but
that's
solo mayonnaise, like a glob of mayonnaise is repulsive to me.
I think I might puke.
It's got to be like...
Oh, I'd puke.
I think I might puke. Just thinking about it right now is upsetting my stomach.
Yeah.
A light coating on a BLT or something.
Totally different. But I'm saying if somebody told you, hey, at 1 o'clock on Monday, be in a certain place, and we're going to dump an enormous jug of mayonnaise or a gallon of mayonnaise, I think I'd throw up.
Minimum $1,000. $1,000. I need $1,000 to do that.
Would that? But that would change your life. I might need even more than that. Quite frankly,
but at the end of the day,
it's a lot of spending
gross,
money.
But it's
a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly. You know what you can get?
A lot of Taco Bell.
I'd be set for life for $1,000.
Not as much crisp and green. It's a little
higher.
No, just a couple.
Pretty quick. Run out pretty quick. Yes, you would.
All right, those are the statements here. On the Statements Monday, Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. Purple Daily, we had an hour and a half long vent line therapy session last night for those of you that may have missed it. And then we went around an hour with our hottest Vikings takes and Declan's pie chart of blame. And we'll see how many other teams try to poach Vikings coaches for interviews. So it's all the Jets right now, right? The Jets have just rifled off.
Yeah, the Jets are talking to everyone. In fact, I just got a text.
15 different head coaches.
I got to take tomorrow off. Jets want to talk
Jets
to me. Looks like the Jets are going to, I might get the Jets job.
It'll be the sports dad, and then Ryan Gregson's going to be your general manager above your head.
Where is Aaron Rodgers next year? That's my big question. He ain't going away, boys.
What percentage chance is he wearing a Vikings uniform?
I
is
texted
it greater
you yesterday.
than 0?
He calls here. I texted you that. He calls here.
And you say No, thank you.
Oh yeah, I agree with that totally. But I think he calls here. I really do.
He'll try to force his way out of New York. Oh, if Rex Ryan gets that job,
He'll get out. Yeah.
So he was on the pregame show yesterday on ESPN, and Greeny made a big deal out of like, boy, if we only knew someone that was about to interview for the Jets head coaching job, like they put it all out there. But then in that same panel discussion, they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and Greeny says, is Aaron Rodgers going to be the quarterback of the Jets next year? And Rex Ryan instantly jumps in and says, no, with like disdain that there's any chance that he would be. So I think if Rex gets that job, we know
I
that
think
Aaron probably
gone.
pieces out.
I think he's gone, but I think there's 100% chance he calls the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I think Dex is right. They say, see ya, bye. No.
Super interesting. All right, dudes. Those are your statements here on this Monday. Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. On the Score North YouTube channel, if that's where you're consuming, please click that subscribe button and the like button. And then over on the Apple, Spotify side, a 5-star rating and a positive review helps us keep growing this thing here at Score North. See you tomorrow.